Welcome to On Daily Life. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects most of us in this digital age: coping with information overload. Let's start by understanding what information overload really is. Information overload. What it is. Almost all of us are bombarded by an excessive amount of information coming from all directions. Computers, mobile phones, radio, TV, and print media surround people with information every day. Do you get overwhelmed by too much information screaming for your attention? If so, you are experiencing what is called information overload. Information overload has many alternative names: information anxiety, infoxication, infobesity, infomania, data smog. No matter the name, the meaning stays the same. Information overload is the feeling you get when, for example, after hours of searching the web, you realize there's so much data in your head that you can no longer think clearly. You feel more confused than knowledgeable about a particular topic. It is the kind of stress you feel when you consume more information than you can digest, and more than it is needed to make a decision. You have an urge to know about many things, and end up wondering how you will use or what you will do with all that information. Taking in more information than what you actually need is like drinking from a fire hydrant. The sheer volume of available information and the manner in which you get it render much of it useless to you. Effects of information overload. Theoretically, having so much information at our fingertips should be a good thing. It should help us make informed and smart choices. In reality, it seems to do more harm than good. Whether you realize it or not, consuming too much information affects you in many different ways. Here are some of them. Mental fatigue. Consuming large volumes of information leads to mental fatigue or burnout. It tires our mind. There is only a certain amount of information a human brain can process at one time. When we surpass that limit, we start to feel irritated, we are no longer able to think clearly, and may have difficulty making even a minor decision. Stress and anxiety. Information overload may trigger anxiety. Most of us may feel that we should know more than we do. With the flood of information coming our way, we pick up little pieces of data. But often we are at a loss as to what to do with them. At the same time, we might suppose that everyone else knows and understands much more than we do. The fear of missing out on something can build up the pressure to stay updated. That is when we become anxious. Getting inaccurate, misleading, or even harmful information. The internet is saturated with fake news and information, videos, and images that are altered or made up, information that is not checked, and factual information that is one-sided. Because of the volume of information available, it can be challenging to know what's reliable or not, and this constant evaluation can lead to anxiety. More information, more confusion. When faced with too much information, we may struggle to make decisions that are well-informed and rational. This can lead to indecision or poor choices. It's like the story of a mouse that thought up many ways to avoid getting caught by the cat. When the cat was around, the mouse was at a loss because there were too many escape plans to choose from in just a short time. Time-consuming. Spending too much time on browsing, watching, reading, or listening to materials that interest us can rob us of our precious time that could be spent instead on more important activities. Undeniably, much of what we see posted on social media is no more than a time filler or even a time waster. Social isolation. Spending excessive time online, consuming information and engaging in virtual interactions, can lead to a decrease in face-to-face social interactions. This physical isolation from others can result in feelings of loneliness and detachment from real-world relationships. Now that we've outlined the risks, let's get into some practical strategies to cope with information overload. Here are some of them. Limit information sources. Use information management tools. Set specific times for information consumption. Practice digital detox. Unsubscribe and unfollow. Use filters and notifications. Stay updated sparingly. Learn to skim and scan. Organize information. Select reliable sources. We will not go into the details, but you may want to dig into what each of these strategies involve. In this video, we'll focus on one approach that has proved effective in managing information overload, which is this. Just search for the information you need when you need it. Apply this basic rule. Keep it simple. Narrow your field of information to that which is relevant to your life. So, for example, when it comes to reading, watching TV, scrolling through social media, or surfing the web, it is good to examine your habits. Ask yourself, is this necessary for my work or my life? Do I really need to know all the trivia and gossip about famous people in the world? Do I really have to be updated on the news and on what is posted on social media? How would my life change if I did not watch this TV program, read this book or that magazine, or spend so much time on the internet? Prioritize your information intake according to your personal needs and interests. Analyze your lifestyle and determine what kind of information is indeed useful to you. Everything that brings you benefits should become your priority. And there you have it, the effects of information overload and practical ways to cope with it. You may never be able to eliminate information anxiety altogether, but following the simple rules we have outlined will help greatly. Remember, it's essential to find a balance that works for you. Experiment with different strategies and adopt the ones that help you cope best with information overload. We'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced information overload before? Have you discovered unique ways to deal with it? Feel free to share your experiences, insights, and tips in the comments section below. If you found the tips mentioned in this video helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe for more valuable content. Thanks for watching. Stay informed. Stay balanced.